This symposium and this awards banquet that has been being held today has focused on leadership and service to country. Those of us that have been blessed with success owe our nation, our students, and our subordinates the mentoring and the encouragement that will put them on their own journey to excellence. Now the young high school superstars that we're here today will be leading our company combat formations and will be middle managers in less than 10 years. In their hands rests the future of our democracy, allowing them to objectively assess their career options, giving them insights into the contributions possible to society and our security in general is worthy of our focus and our energy. This next generation must understand the implications of their willingness or unwillingness to answer the call to duty. That's what Heroes and Heritage is doing in their effort. Nurture the dreams and facilitate success. That is what Heroes and Heritage has embraced as its mission. Together we must stop America's massive slide toward educational mediocrity. I do want to highlight Fernando and his great committee that has been the force behind this great initiative. He's taken it from concept to reality. And, I really hope that we can institutionalize this because it's about the future of America. So thank you, Fernando, for all of your magnificent work, and your committee that was recognized earlier also. God bless you for caring for our kids and for our nation. Well, thank you all very much for the opportunity.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Garza from Edison High School. And I wanted to ask you, you said there are over 750 career fields, and is it mandatory to join the military to be in these careers?
No, ma'am, you do not. And that's a great question, because you can, there's a website, www.opm.gov. OPM stands for Office of Personnel Management. This is a federal agency in Washington, D.C. that governs and sets the standards for career employment as a civilian within the Department of Defense. You can come in right out of college, but you can go to that website, and that website will list several career opportunities, several jobs that will be open, and normally jobs are open on the average for 30 days. Sometimes they're open a lot shorter period than that, and that means you have that opportunity to apply and be considered. But you can do that right out of college. We even have intern programs if you're still in high school, where you can look around at some of the federal agencies, and you've got several military installations here. Go to those installations and find out about their intern programs, summer intern programs, scholarship programs, so you don't have to wear a uniform to do that first.
I didn't have a home, so I joined the Army. And 26 years, 18 years of marriage, 3 kids, and 4 combat tours later, 5 if you count Detroit, I'm here to tell you life is good. All right? And this whole entire operations was set up to give you the benefits of knowing exactly what's going on in your Department of Defense. It's not just mine, it is yours. And you need to really understand what's going on, because we want you to be the most productive person you can be. instead of being the most destructive person you can be. So as each of these folks here and behind me in this, behind the screen talk to you about that, they're all talking to you about opportunities. Here's an opportunity that you should know. No one, and I say this with earnesty, honesty, and integrity, no one should ever pay for college out of their own pocket. This country has set up advantages not only in the public sector, but also in the private sector to take care of each and every one of its citizens who wishes to go on to college.
How about a round of applause for our first set?
God bless.
Thank you, everyone.
So what we want you to do is develop your character so that you can become a great leader. You know, so we need to have a good foundation of character and integrity. The fourth thing is education. And I want to congratulate you for matriculating to the point that you are now, rather than high school. But make sure when you go to, you want to go to college and educate yourself, and you want to constantly ask yourself, am I in the top 10% in my career field? If someone were to ask you, if you look yourself in the mirror, are you the top 10% in your career field, whatever you choose to be? Now, when we look at education, you know, you want to get that sheepskin, but at the same time, you want to have a lifestyle of continued education. You want to continually to improve yourself, continually to seek others, and continually to educate people around you. These are the keys to success.
And they're looking for students who are motivated, who want to lead, who are team players, serving your church,
Don't you get the 30 days to go take it again?
My son's in here. He graduated last year from Southwest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was 18 to
On the inside, in the air, not
Thank you, Fernando. Councilwoman Cisneros, Mr. Cardinal, General Sanchez, the awardees tonight, to many other distinguished guests that's in the audience tonight, particularly Mr. Cardinal's neighbors, friends I met last year. It's good to see y'all back again. You know, this is a tremendously important event. I really am pleased to be partnering with Heroes in Heritage because it represents two important parts of our community. Heroes, as we have all seen tonight, and those heroes continue in the Gil Coronados and the Fernando Reyes, all of which are good role models for us all. But also the heritage that the Hispanic community has given to our nation's military is indeed noteworthy. And as you know, the Department of Defense at this point in time is concerned because we do not have enough Hispanics in the Department of Defense, particularly on the civilian side. This is a problem that we've had for the last many decades, and we continue to look for ways to improve it. Right now, DOD consists of about 6% of our civilian workforce that's Hispanic, and that's unacceptable. The Secretary recognizes it, and our office continues to work strategies to try to improve it. On the military side, we're doing much better. In fact, over the last decade or so, the Office of Representation amongst Hispanics has grown about 200%. There's still some room to go, but that's very noteworthy. On the enlisted side, we're doing quite well. We value the Hispanic community as a key to our nation's future, as a key to our defense future. There's so much talent. You know, this nation military is counting on the best and brightest of our citizens. And of course, those citizens rest largely in our Hispanic community. So we will continue to work programs like this, programs along with elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, colleges, because we want to attack this problem not just tactically, but also strategically. And programs like Heroes in Heritage would not only point out the heroes that were recognized tonight, but also a focus on the heritage, carrying this thing for years to come. And that's why the Department of Defense is here tonight. So thank you so much for being here. We're so pleased to continue to partner, and we look forward to our continued association.
In the department, people who did not know that they were my mentor, so I attached myself. I was fear stepping based on an entry level with more experience, and it determines your pay. Allows you to part-time
looking to do is to create a pipeline. You know, we're looking at creating pipeline for where the students are today, and we're looking at creating something so they can have an easy transition into Department of Defense. Now,
I know one of the ladies there had mentioned that it doesn't matter about race or women, or it doesn't matter who you are, you can work up your ranks to the military. And I didn't know that there were so many opportunities for money, especially in the military.
Well, it met all of my expectations, and then I think it exceeded it. It gave the kids an opportunity to be outside of their environment, talk with educated people, intelligent, articulate people, hearing motivation and inspiration and the way to achieve their goals. I think it was excellent. It was a great program.
First impressions were great, informative, insightful, and even exciting. Just getting the reaction from many of the students who were there. It makes an old guy like me feel younger again. And that's really what we're all about. The Department of Defense, many people already know about those of us who served or serve in uniform. What they don't always know about or realize is that we have a 600,000 civilian workforce that support all those men and women that are in uniform. And we're finding out that it's almost like a clique. Unless your parents or unless you have a relative who was a civil servant, you don't know much about it. Unfortunately, we don't advertise the civil service jobs like we advertise the uniform jobs. But there's so many opportunities, both on the uniform side and on the civilian side, and we're here to let folks know about that, especially in communities, in minority communities, where the word just doesn't always get down for whatever reason.
Well, it's as always, this is a very significant event in order for us to be able to communicate to our young people, our future leaders, the opportunities that exist within the Department of Defense and within the other professions that exist that serve our country. And during this time of war, that's a very critical thing for us to make sure that they understand. And it's both a personal opportunity for them and an opportunity to be able to serve our communities. Well, I think it's a combination of the media and also the average American citizen. I think because we have this all volunteer force, the exposure to our military and to our Department of Defense as a general entity has suffered. So we don't really understand. When people think Department of Defense, they think the military and the warfighting aspects of it, and it's much greater than that. And I think advertising these kinds of events, that like the one we've had here today, is very important, and also just a general education requirement for us as a country, and as civil and military responsibility to be able to communicate that it's much greater than just having soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines on the ground.
Well, definitely something you can